Hello again, grade 3 and grade 4. We are on to lesson 3 of our lowercase cursive writing. Today we are going to work on the letters U, W, Y, V, R, S, J, P, X, and L. I've changed around the sheet for you today when you print it off or when you see it, in case you're not printing it off and you're just writing it yourself. I'd still like you to do a whole line of each one, but for me to save some paper here, I'm going to just show you a half a line, and then you can just write them yourselves in a whole line and then double them up. So I'm not going to waste any extra time. By now you know the drill, so we'll get started, and I'll show you how to do those letters. So our first letter is the letter U, and for U, it's just like yesterday when we did the letter I. You would start on the bottom, go up to the dotted line, back down, but instead of just doing one, you go up twice like the double I, and you created the letter U. The only difference is there's no dots. So it's just like a double I, but there's no dots. So up and down on the same line, up and down on the same line, and you have created the letter U, but there are no dots above it. Now, if you're going to do a double U, I've put 2 dashes here in the middle to save paper this time. A double U is 2 U's, give a little wider space, and another one U with a wider space and a second U. So 1 U, a little space, and a second U, and you can do a double U. The letter W is up and down, just like the letter U, but then back up a second time, or a third time, I should say, and your tail stays up at the top. So up, down, up like a U. When you come down, you go up for a third time, and you leave your tail at the top, and you've created a W. The W is a tail at the top. So just like the letter O, the tail stays at the top. So start at the bottom, up, down, up, with a tail at the top. 2 W's would be W. Since we're already at the top, we take our tail at the top, we switch right back into another W, and we leave our tail at the top. Our third letter today is the letter Y. A Y goes right back and looks exactly like our first letter, the letter U. The only difference being we don't leave the tail on the line. We're going to have to come below the line and put a little backwards bubble. So it's the letter U, but instead of putting our tail, go halfway below the line, come backwards, and cross right at the black line. So up and down, just like a U, come straight down like a U, but instead of putting out the tail, go halfway down, back around in a little loop, cross at the black line and leave a tail. Up and down on the same lines, come right back down on the same line, halfway below the black line, a backwards little loop, cross on the black line. So it's the letter U. See, it is a U. But you come down below a halfway, a backwards loop, and cross on the black line. I would then like you to do 2 Y's. Up and down, cross, leads right back into another up and down and cross. 2 Y's together. The letter V is a lot like a U, only now we have a little bit more of a separation. So it's up And instead of coming back down on the same line, you actually do split it apart and you create a sharp point at the bottom, no rounded point, and leave your tail at the top. So it does look like a kind of a lot like a printed letter V. So up, don't come down on the same line, straight down, straight back up with a sharp point at the bottom and a tail at the top. Up, down, point. Remember, the lead in is from the letter before, straight down, tail at the top. Two V's would be up, down, up. You're already at the top, straight back down, and a tail again. Up, straight down, up. Your tail leads into your other one, so we're already at the top. Straight back down to another point and another tail. Now, the letter R is where some students have a little bit of difficulty. It's the same lead up as a U, a W, a Y, a V, leading up on a little curved line up. You come down, back on the line slightly, just a little bit, straight across, and then down and around. Up, come down maybe a millimeter. Come down a millimeter. Go across like in a straight line. Bend around and down. Up, down, to the right. Make a little bendy squiggle. Up, down, right, down and around. Up, down, right, and around. Up, down, right, and around. Up, down, right, and around. Two R's. Up, down, to the right, and around. Up, down, right, and around. Up, down, right, and around. Up, down, right, and around. And that's your letter R. Notice I put all these letters together because they have the same type of pattern going up, down, and around to the right. The letter S, up, and this is where we break the mold. Instead of coming back down, we actually go up, kick it out and around like a bird's belly, and kick a tail out. Up, around, and out. Up, kick it out like a bird's belly, and out. Up, kick it out like a bird's belly, and out. Up, kick it out, and back out for the tail. Two S's. Up, out like a belly, kick it back out, go up, kick it back out, give it a tail. Up, out, kick it up, out, and back out. Up to the top, kick it out like a belly, kick it out. Up, kick it out, and away you go. The letter J, again, follows like the U, the W, the Y, the V, the R. You have a tail going up, straight down, a loop around to the left, crossing on the bottom line. And then you need to put a dot above it. Up to the dotted line, straight down, loop around the left, and cross on the black line. Up, straight down, loop around the left, cross on the dotted line. Don't forget to put your dot above it. Up to the dotted line, straight down, loop around the left, and cross the dotted line. J's, up, down, loop to the left, cross. Up to the dotted line, loop to the left, cross. When you've done the entire word, then you go back and you dot them both. So up, down, cross, up, down, cross, up, down, cross, up, down, cross, up, down, loop to the left, cross. Then you would go back and dot them all. The letter P is just like the letter J. Again, you're going to go up to the dotted line, straight down. But there's no looping to the left. You're going to go straight back up to the dotted line, put out the belly like the letter S, come back out and give it a tail. up to the dotted line, straight down halfway below the black line, all the way back up and around with a belly, and kick out a tail. Up is number 1. Up and down is number 2. Up, down, back, up, and around is 3. And up, down, back, up, and around, and kick out a tail is 4. So 2 P's would be up, down, around, kick it out, straight up, down, around, and back out. Up, down, around, up, down, around. That wasn't very good there because I didn't get all the way back up to the dotted line. The letter X looks a lot like a V. Up, cross. You're making like a little hill and then you cross it. Up and cross. So make like a point. Make it like a little triangle. Up and down, and then you take your pencil off the page and you cross it. Up and down, cross. Up and down, cross. Up and down, cross. 2 X's. Up and down, cross, cross. Up and down, cross, cross. That's all X's are. 2 little mountains. Okay, and the last one is the letter E. E is a struggle for some students because it's really important that you get the line going on an angle, then you pop it around. You have to get it on an angle to the right, then you have to pop a loop around. It doesn't want to be going straight up and down to look like a mini L. You want to have the line going on an angle to the right and then pop a line around so you know it is an E. Now I know an L is nice and tall and goes a lot higher, but you want to have a line going on an angle and then pop a loop around it. Pop a loop around to the left. So 2 E's, like in the word sleep, would be, oops, E goes right up to another E. E, straight up to another E. E, straight up to another E. 2 E's. You want to kind of have a bit of a straight line in your E. And then I gave you a few words to work on this week. So I gave you sleep, I gave you powder, river, jacket, forgot to dot my picture, and whispers. So we're using letters from our first 2 lessons and from today. So I'll do 1 sleep would be, remember, go up on an angle, pop out the belly, tall L on an angle for the E, on the angle for the E, up to the top, halfway down, kick out the belly, got a tail for sleep. Powder, up to the dotted line, halfway below, kick out the belly, up for the O, halfway, back around, finishes up top with the loop. Already up top for the W, so 2, W ends up top. I need a D, so I'll go halfway across, all the way up. E, go up on the angle, pop it around. R, come slightly down to the right and around. Powder. River, R, a little down to the right and around. I, straight up, straight down. V, up, down to a point. E, I'm already at the top with a V, so I just got to bring it around and give it a loop. Okay? R, up, a little down, kick it around and over. Don't forget to go back and dot your I. Jacket, J, up, straight down, loop around, into an A. C, around, into a K, goes all the way up, a little bit of a loop, then the hump. E on an angle, around, T goes all the way up, straight back down the same line. Cross on the dotted line, go back and dot the J at the very end. Don't take your pencil off the page until you're done the entire word. Picture. P. I finishes at the bottom, right into a C, up to a T. U is like a double I, into an R, kick it out to the right, and an E loops around. I'll go back at the end, cross the T, dot the I. And the last one is whispers. W would be like two I's. It finishes at the top, so I'll go right into the loop for the H with a hump that goes to the dotted line. I up and down. S goes up, kick out the belly. H, oops, sorry. S, P, go up, straight down, halfway below the black line. P, kick out. E on the straight line to the right, loop around the E. R, up, a little to the right, around. S, kick out the belly again, and away we go. Whispers. So that's your lesson for today. Take your time, practice, do as much as you can. The more you practice, the better you will get. And try connecting as many different letters as you can to each other. And we only have one more lowercase lesson, and then you will know all your letters and should be able to connect all the letters to each other. The more you practice, the better you're going to get, and hopefully by the end of this week, you'll be able to write all your letters, all your lessons, everything in cursive writing. Good luck.